Imagine this. A man who's 6 feet tall and 230 pounds. This man excels at everything he does. Everything he does is 110%, and he wins, no matter what. He will put everything on the line just to make sure that he completes greatness. People have quoted him saying that he has a cannon for an arm. Sure, he said that he had a cannon for an arm, but it was still true. Now, this man, not anybody that just comes around. He's the kind of person you only see once in like every generation. His name is Bo Jackson. Now, Bo, as a child, suffered from what you would call a stutter. The stutter was so bad that Bo did not talk. In fact, he was a relatively quiet kid. So quiet that the teachers thought he was stupid. This made Bo angry. He felt like he wasn't worth it. In fact, until he started playing sports, Bo was seen as a bully or as a bad kid. Even in Bo's very first commercials, he had no lines. They just showed Bo either dunking a ball, hitting a baseball, scoring a touchdown. That's all they did. But it wasn't like Bo to roll over and let something take it. Bo worked to defeat this. And like everything he did, he beat it. Now, Bo isn't just known for conquering a stutter. Around his time, Nike was a small brand, small business just getting off the ground. Reebok was the number one athletic shoe. But Nike was onto something. They were making a shoe made for the multi-sport athlete. It's called the Cross Trainer. But they couldn't think of an athlete to carry it. They thought of Jordan. Now Jordan only plays one sport. He's only good at one sport anyway. He played baseball and he wasn't very good. Gretzky plays hockey. There's no reason to have a hockey player endorse a sneaker. And then they came across Bo Jackson, who was a professional baseball and football player. So, the very first commercials, they just showed Bo doing what Bo does, and that's winning. And because of Bo, Nike shot up to the number one shoe brand in America. And because of Bo, Nike and other companies advertise not the team, but the individual. If it wasn't for Bo, people would still be saying the Philadelphia Phillies endorse Nike, or Philadelphia Sixers endorse Dick's Sporting Goods. But thanks to Bo, we have shoes like Jordan, the LeBron James shoe, the Kevin Durant shoe, even Kobe Bryant shoes. And that's all because of Bo Jackson. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why does someone who just was famous for getting Nike off the ground need to have a tribute speech about it? I'll tell you why. Bo is one of the most gifted athletes of all time. In fact, when Bo was in high school, he was already being scouted by the Yankees. And when a scout came to see him, the coach did not want the scout to look at him, and he just said, "Go home." But Bo said, why don't you let me watch him play? So, Bo got in the cage, and the very first pitch, he hit so hard into the top left corner, the whole cage fell over. And because of that, the scout just looked at Bo, nodded his head, and said, "That's all we need to see." But Bo chose the right path. He went on to college. He wanted an education. He wanted to prove to everybody that he wasn't the stupid little kid who couldn't talk anymore. So, Bo went to Auburn, and turned down Alabama. The reason he turned down Alabama was that they didn't offer him a starting position as a freshman. Auburn did. So, Bo took it to Alabama, and he beat them every time he played him. Or, he didn't beat him every time, but he gave him a good fight. In fact, in baseball, Bo played for Auburn too. In fact, every time they went to a game, it was sold out just so people could see Bo play. But sadly, people had other intentions. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't want Bo to play baseball. They wanted to play just football so he wouldn't get hurt. So they tricked Bo into coming down and seeing them, and saying the NCAA was okay with it. But sadly for Bo, he believed it. When he got back to Auburn, the coach said, "You can't play anymore. The NCAA has ruled that you went to see Tampa Bay, and you can't play." So sadly, Bo couldn't play baseball for his senior year of college. When Bo was picked in the first pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he turned it down. He refused to play someone that wronged him. He turned down $1 million just because they took away baseball from him. And so he quit football for the time being, moved on to baseball. He was picked up by the Kansas City Royals. And in Kansas City, Bo became the All-Star MVP, and he has the farthest home run in the Kansas City Royals stadium, which, if you look at the Royals today, that might not be a hard thing to do. But still, it deserves to be talked about. Now, Bo went on to play football. In fact, people knew Bo because he would just run. No one ever tackled Bo from behind. He would just outrun kids, and he would run over them. That was the type of player Bo was. He didn't shy away from a fight. He always went straight at the guy, and he always went straight through him. So that's what Bo Jackson does. Now, sadly, every hero has a tragedy. That tragedy was when Bo was playing for the Los Angeles Raiders, or the Oakland Raiders. He had his hip broken because a man caught him from the back, and he was running so fast that he popped out his leg out of his hip. That ended Bo's baseball and football career, at least people thought, but Bo proved them wrong. Bo went through one of the most painful rehabilitation centers just so he could play football and baseball. Now, Bo was never 110%, but Bo gave everything he could just so he could play baseball and football one more time. And you'd still catch glimpses of what Bo Jackson used to look like. Now, Bo simply goes hunting with his crossbow. In fact, if you go to his house, he'll show you one of his trophies named Charlie. Charlie's a bison head. Now, Bo Jackson, you may think, is just an athlete. Well, if you think that, then you don't know Bo.